Live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the show brings you the National League Wildcard Series. It's the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Milwaukee Brewers. Alongside Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. A big game 2 in store for us here today, Chris.
Absolutely, and it might seem like there's not as much pressure if you've already got a win in game 1, but they're dying to close this series out right here and now. The last thing they want is to lose the momentum and go into a do-or-die game 3. That's a lot of pressure.
Sometimes it feels like every game in a 3-game series is do or die. All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. Just about set to go, and on the mound now, Tobias Myers.
Well, this guy features off of it, throws the cutter, and really he's most effective when he's using that cutter off the four-seam fastball just to miss the barrel of the bat. Not always going to see the swings and misses, but if you can somehow get weaker contact, you have a chance to collect some outs. Now, it's going to look the same until the very last second, so hitters are going to have to make a decision and hope that sometimes they're able to guess right.
The pitch comes up empty. That's strike 2.
It's a good changeup to hit up in the zone. I don't think he recognized it. I'm sure he'd love to have that one back.
Foul ball, still 0-2. Got him looking, and there's one down.
Frustrating end to the at-bat for the hitter, and I'm sure that's going to sit on him for a little while. You want to be ready to hit the fastball. Sometimes you can overthink things, and I think that was the case right there.
Number 11, batting with one down, takes a strike. Myers, a former Gold Glove winner, he features a four-seam fastball, a cutter, a slider, a changeup, and he occasionally uses a curve. Fastball for a strike. One out, base is empty. Gets a piece, and it stays 0-2. Just off the inside edge.
It's a good take.
That misses, and the count's even at 2. Got him swinging.
That's pretty sick. Late cutting action to get the swing and miss right there. I mean, that's just really hard to account for as a hitter when you're seeing the fastball all the way, and then just at the last moment, it darts away from you and you can't reach it.
And now Jake McCarthy. And that's in there for strike 1. 2 outs, base is empty. On the ground to first. He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it. So 1-2-3 go the Diamondbacks. Now it's the Brewers' turn. It's a scoreless ball game. This is the National League Wildcard Series on the show. Back here in Milwaukee, and today's starter, Brandon Fact. What do you got on him, Chris?
Well, the hammer is in effect, and he sets it up so nicely because of the velocity on the fastball. Will elevate that and then break you off when he's ahead in the count. What I love about him, you get into the later innings of the ball game, and the velocity seems to go up.
Up now for Milwaukee, Xavier Edwards. Here's a guy who is one of the best in the business. You're talking about looking for a hit somewhere, and this is a guy you go to. The shortstop takes the ball.
Well, in this day of analytics, you have to be really good, and you've got to be consistent as well. Otherwise, you're going to be out of the lineup because of the matchup. But, yeah, it's amazing what he can do from both sides of the plate.
Fouled off. He was late.
Boog, one thing about being a great switch hitter, it's so tough to keep both of your swings sharp. I mean, sometimes it can feel like a long time in between at bats against a lefty or vice versa. You can work on both swings, but there's only so much a guy can do in the batting cage.
That one just misses. Up the middle, Marte. One gone, bottom half of the first. Let's take a look at the Brewers lineup. Chris, this is a lineup offensively that could be really good for years to come.
They're deep, first and foremost, but the way that they can manipulate their personnel for matchups and everything else, it's very intelligent the way that they use their team, and I think it creates a little bit of uncertainty for opposing teams, especially in a big game, big series.
Here's Yelich at the dish. One down, base is empty. That just misses. 2 balls, no strikes. And a pitch. That clips the zone, and a count 2-1. And another ball. That one pushed foul, out of play off to the left. Back to work, 3-2 now. In the air, out to center. McCarthy gets under it. They got it for out number 2. And now it's William Contreras. Obviously a guy who makes good contact, hits for average, but one of the things in today's game, the value in the fact that he hits both righties and lefties.
Right through there for a strike.
They're so reliant on the matchups nowadays, Chris, and it's huge when you don't have to sit a guy or platoon him.
When you can hit, both sides in terms of pitchers' arms.
Oh, now this is blasted. Way back there. On its way. Gone. Just like that, they move in front. It's 1-0.
That's the exact definition of hitting the ball where it's pitched, taking that outside fastball and driving it the opposite way out of the ballpark. You want to bottle that type of approach.
Now it's the right fielder, Jackson Chourio. Fastball for a strike. That one misses, and 1-1. 2 down, base is empty, but 1 run across here in game 2 of the wild card series. And the pitch is in for a strike. Going to count 1-2. Gets under it and pops it up. Settles under this one. And that ends the inning. But they're off to a good start as they pick up a run on this solo shot. It's an early 1-0 lead. Back here at American Family Field. New inning getting started. Ketel Marte up to the plate. Marte batting in the cleanup spot, and he won the Silver Slugger at his position in the National League last year. Yeah, the right-hander back to work. There's the strike. The atmosphere around postseason baseball, there really isn't anything like it in the sport. It's the time of year where the rally towels come out and the crowd energy gets cranked. Boots it. Safe at first. No play. We'll see how they score this.
Pretty much gifted a leadoff base runner right there. And as an offense, this is where you really want to take advantage. Apply some pressure this inning. Make that error hurt.
Suarez up to hit down. And that's off the inside edge. Ball one.
You look up in the stands in games like this, you just see a giant mass of color. Everything just blurs together, and it can be hard as a player not to get distracted by that kind of energy.
Outside corner, there's a strike. Pitch misses inside. 2-1. That one ripped, but foul.
Look out. That ball was smoked. Man, I am so relieved that they have this netting down the lines. Just ensures safety for the fans. Last thing as a player, you want to look up and see a fan get hit.
Righty to the plate. Still 2-2 after the foul ball. The D-backs trailing by a run here in game 2. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. Couldn't hit the fastball at the knees. Next to hit for Arizona, Will Brennan. And that clips the inside corner. And here it comes. And a foul ball. Oh, 0-2 now. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. And the righty deals.
That's a really good job of laying off the 0-2 high fastball. Is going to make that pitcher really have to respect this hitter, even though he's behind in the count.
And the right-hander deals just off the outside part of the plate.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Man at first, one away. Check on the runner. Marte back on a dive. Comes a 2-2. Ground ball right side, could be 2. Off balance feed, there's 1. And that's all they'll get.
Tough play right there. Didn't really have enough time to set his feet and make a strong, accurate throw. Had to rush it, but he got it off, and he got it there in time to get that out at second base.
This is Corbin Carroll. On the inside corner for a strike. The Brewers leading by a run here at the top of the second. And a swing and a miss.
More and more guys are looking to slug regardless of the count. In this situation, we'll keep a close eye on his approach.
2 outs. Swing and a ball popped up. Moving under this one. Pulls it down and he makes the catch. And that'll do it. One left for the Diamondbacks. They trail here 1-0. And welcome back to the ballpark. Bottom half of inning number 2. Digging in is the switch inning outfielder, Blake Perkins. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. Fastball for a strike.
Pretty rare location right there, right down the middle. This guy paints the edges. I'm not sure if you're going to see that pitch again as a hitter.
Swing and a miss. Looked off balance that time. Cut on and miss. Struck him out. And now 1 away.
No, there's a small sigh of relief right there. I mean, just to keep that speed off the base paths. It's not just the pitcher. It's other guys that have to think about it. From your infielders have to think about that runner potentially stealing, but also be in position to make a play. As an outfielder, you're thinking about a base hit to the outfield. I got to get to it quickly to try to keep this guy from taking an extra base. So I think everyone just a little more relaxed that he didn't reach base.
Fat. He's the kind of starter that a lot of pitching coaches and managers as well really appreciate. Not a guy who's going to get himself into trouble by dancing around, by walking guys. That one misses in the dirt.
Yeah, he throws strikes, and he's got the command, be in the zone, be effective, but just moving the ball around, getting the ball back from the catcher booth, and throwing the pitch.
Line drive, hauls it in for the out, and there's 2 away. It's an interesting thing when you consider limiting walks. Is it more important today because of how many home runs are being hit?
No doubt. Keeping guys off the base paths with the way the swings and the launch angles are today, the emphasis of hitting home runs is so huge. It's never been more important.
Swing and a foul straight back. Yeah, I think the other part, though, as well, is it goes both ways, because I think that guys at times are more than willing to give up walks because they'll come back and strike the next hitter out. To the right side. He'll do it himself. 3 up, 3 down, inning over. Brewers go down quietly, but they hold a 1-0 lead. All set for the start of the inning. Leading off, Gabriel Moreno. He is at the top of the game in terms of defense at the catching spot. Myers back to work. Ball 1 low.
It's so impressive because these guys have to do so much study and preparation for their pitchers, for opposing hitters, and really their #1 job is to guide that staff through a ball game. And so when you also can turn it up offensively and be a force there, that is a win-win, every manager's dream.
Well struck right field. Chourio going back, and that one is gone over the right field wall. And it ties it up. It's 1-1.
This game is breathing new life thanks to that home run, and that's exactly what they needed. Well, he almost robbed the home run right there, and I tell you what, he'd love another crack at it. During batting practice, you always like to work on that, and so close, but that one was just out of his reach.
Alec Thomas now. Missed with a changeup, and that's ball 1. The wind and the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did.
Oh, just got to delete it. You give up that leadoff home run. Go back to work. Focus on this next batter.
Chop back up the middle. No play. That's an infield single.
Did a nice job getting there. Good throw, but very difficult to get anybody on that one as far as you had to go and throw. You know?
Yeah, no question. And here is Geraldo Perdomo. Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. Perkins makes the grab. And next is the designated hitter. First pitch doesn't find the zone. This one high in the air to left center. Perkins sizes this one up. Perkins grabs it on the run.
Every day during batting practice, these outfielders get about 10 minutes of balls in the gaps. They practice this, and when the game comes, they make the play perfectly.
Digging in, it's the speedy outfielder, Jake McCarthy. He's 0 for 1. And that's in the dirt. And that is ball 1. Tied up here in the early going. Check swing. He went too far, and it's a strike. Throw over to first. And he's out. And they got him. That ends the inning. D-backs get one on the solo jack. All even now at 1-1. And we're back. This is Bryce Terang. We talk about guys with good speed, and definitely he has it. But pushing the offense aside for just a second, Chris, it's the defensive side that I think the speed factors in the most. That one's in there. It's 0-1.
Well, he gets to balls that get by most people at that position. Just really impressive because there's certain times the ball comes off the bat, automatically that team that hit it thinks that they've got a base hit, or they may have extra bases, and he just takes it away.
Swings and misses at the breaking ball in the dirt. Gets to it, on to first. Gets him. One away on a drop third strike.
Well, take a look at the three-pitch sequence here. Pretty simple in terms of putting them away at the plate. Once you're ahead 0-2 as a pitcher, you can really expand the zone and see how aggressive that hitter's going to be trying to protect and battle. And right there, clearly he was in swing mode, but all you can do is hope to foul that off.
Now the left fielder, Sal Frelick. There's the strike at the knees. 0-1. One down, base is empty. And a foul ball left side. The 0-2. Gets a piece and stays alive. That's out to center field. McCarthy pulls it down, and there are 2 outs. So up next, Xavier Edwards. He's 0 for 1. And a bunt towards third. Safe at first, and an infield single keeps the inning going. Well, Singy, that was really nice looking. Able to get it down and in a good spot.
And he makes it look easy. Bat angle was perfect. Barrel stayed above the hands. Could almost walk to first.
Now it's Christian Yelich. 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. And downstairs.
If he were an average catcher behind the plate, I'd say take second base, but this isn't a catcher you want to run on. His quick release is unreal.
2 gone, but the go-ahead run is at first here in the last half of the third. Just off the outside edge. Ball 2.
And now a little barking back towards the umpire. Clearly thought he got that outside corner on what was a pretty big pitch. Sometimes that only makes it worse for you moving forward, but it can also open up that location in the future if the umpire thinks there's a chance that he missed it.
And that one just missed off the outside edge. William Contreras would be next if they can extend the inning.
And he's homered already, so I'm sure he'd love a chance to do some more damage here.
Let's see if he gives him anything to hit here. And a 4-pitch walk.
Maybe a little loss of focus on the mound right there. Pretty much gifted him first base with a quick free pass.
Here's the catcher, William Contreras. He's already homered here in this one. A swing and a miss, and that's strike 1. First and second, 2 down here in the second game of the series. That one finds the zone. 0-2 now.
Well, at that velocity, if that's all you're seeing, 88, you can handle that all day long. That's what you get in batting practice. But off the velocity of the fastball, that is a very tough pitch to adjust to.
At the belt and fires. Fouls it off, still 1-2. Kicks and fires. In the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, this is a guy that can be frustrating for pitchers because he fouls off so many pitches and grinds out the at-bat. I'm sure there's some times where a pitcher would rather just give up a first pitch single than have to waste 6 or 7 pitches on one hitter.
That's a base hit. Play at the plate. Not in time. He's safe. It's 2-1.
Well, there you go. The RBI machine. Another clutch run scoring at bat.
Yeah, he's been so good in these situations. Call it clutch if you want, but his resume speaks for itself. So first and second with 2 outs. Next for the Brewers, Jackson Chourio. And a strike. Yelich over at second. Contreras on at first with 2 down. And that one's a little bit low. And the count is 1-1.
Well, you put good velocity in the head of the hitter. He's got to get it ready early and then change speeds. Keep him off balance. That's the goal.
Bounce to the left side. They get the force. They limit the damage here. So 1 run in the inning on this base hit. And this is now a 2-1 ball game. Wildcard Series Game 2. And now here's a speed threat. Outfielder Jake McCarthy. The pitch. And that's a little high. Next offering is in for a strike. The line to kick the pitch. swing and a pop-up. Foul territory for the catcher. Contreras hauls it in, and there's one away.
Man, he just couldn't lay off right there. Those high fastballs, they just look really good because they're eye level, but they're just about impossible to get the barrel to.
Here's Ketel Marte. There's a strike.
He's pitching well, but not throwing a ton of first pitch strikes. Usually doesn't work out for success, but you can never predict baseball.
Inside, just missed. The pitch. And a big swing and a miss.
He can live up in the zone all game if hitters will chase it. That's just too much velocity. Hitters got to look down in the zone.
Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout. Eugenio Suarez up to the plate now. He struck out swinging at his first at bat. There's the strike. Next pitch is downstairs. 2 down, nobody on. And a foul ball. Off the outside edge, and now the count is 2-2. The Diamondbacks down by a run, top half of inning number 4. And he grounds one to the right side. And foul ball. Here comes a pitch. Hard hit left side. Sends it to first. And Arizona is set down 1-2-3. Nothing doing for Arizona. And they trail it here 2-1. Ready to go, bottom 4. And stepping in is the speedy Blake Perkins. The wind of the pitch. That one misses. Ball 1.
Well, these Brewers doing a great job, Boog, of just waiting for the right pitch to come their way, and I'm seeing very patient at-bats out of them. They're doing a good job of working the pitch count, and they've been able to push a couple of runs across the score as well.
And that one fouled off. And that's outside. 2-2.
Still relatively early, but with the pair of runs already on the board, the ripple effect of that high pitch count might set them up to do more damage later in this game.
Thomas steps on the bag. Leadoff hitter retired in the 4th. Next for Milwaukee, Joseph Ortiz. 0 for 1 so far. Swings and blasts one deep to left center. Gone! A solo shot. It's 3-1. That one just sounded different.
Yeah, it might have been the loudest moment yet. Man, my ears are ringing. I can feel that swing from the booth. A good hitter gets pitch recognition early. He saw exactly where that was going to be. The challenge, not get over anxious and come out of your swing. He stayed on it and got all of it.
One out, base is empty. Trey Morgan now at the plate. Not even close there. And that's ball 1. One out, base is empty, and a run in. We're here in the bottom of the 4th. That one drilled left field. And it stays fair. Around first and hustling for second, and that's a 2-bagger.
Love how he let that ball travel, trusted his hands. Nice job of going the other way.
One down. Bryce Terang getting ready to hit. That's in for a strike. Back here in Milwaukee. Now, Eugenio Suarez. The right-hander back to work. That one is absolutely belted. Way back there. And it's gone. He'll circle the bases, and they add on. It's 11-5.
And with the 6-run lead, there are fans that are starting to head to the exits.
When you're working with this kind of velocity, so critical that you move the ball around, work quickly, and make sure that you keep that hitter off balance. Clearly not fooled by the location or the velocity. He was all over that fastball.
Next up for the Diamondbacks, Will Brennan. Just missed.
You know, these D-backs really producing with runners on. It's been a right place, right time kind of game for them. They're hitting over 600 in this game with runners in scoring position, and clearly that's leading to a lot of runs. Their clutch hitting has been excellent.
Late with the swing there. Right side. He steps on the bag. That's the first out, the top of the 7th. Now up next for Arizona, Corbin Carroll. 1 for 3. And that one just misses. A ball and no strikes. All right, Chris, when you talk about great logos, the Milwaukee Brewers, the M and the B that form a glove, not everyone even realizes that it's an M and a B with that glove. They started using it in 1978 and have been using it a lot more recently. It's a great logo, Chris.
Yeah, Boog, I remember as a kid, my brother had that ball cap, and I would just kind of borrow it. Some would say steal it, but it was just such a cool looking logo. I had no idea until years later that that's what was hidden on the inside of it, that M and that B, but very, very cool.
And here's the catcher, Gabriel Moreno. He's already homered in this game. This guy, one of the best defensive catchers going. You talk about framing, the ability to block, catch, and throw. He is at the top of the game. Swinging a foul back. That's out of play. That misses. 1-1.
Really good athlete, and many times we talk about, you know, the feet of infielders. This catcher as well, really quick feet. He's able to recognize the pitch, see the trajectory, and get into a spot where he can block those balls and keep them from going to the backstop.
Right-hander kick steals. Swing and a miss, struck him out. One hit in the inning, a solo homer. 7th inning stretch time. It's the Diamondbacks 11 and the Brewers 5. Bottom of the 7th. Here's the shortstop at the plate, Xavier Edwards.
Really impressive with the way he frames, the way that he sets it up, because sometimes those pitches are off the plate, but because he sets up and presents it so well, he steals strikes for his pitcher.
Can't glove it cleanly, and he's going to make it to first. And we'll see how they score it.
Pretty much gifted a leadoff base runner right there. And as an offense, this is where you really want to take advantage. Apply some pressure this inning. Make that error hurt.
Man at first. And now it's Christian Yelich. That one's in there, 0-1. The pitch. Not close with that one. And 1-1. Activity in the Arizona bullpen. Ryan Thompson, the right-handed sinker baller. He looks to be readying himself. The Brewers with a lot of ground to make up here in the late stages of Game 2.
Well, this is a good time to step out of the box, take a deep breath, reset. A couple of change-ups. Probably won't see another one here.
And a pitch. On the ground right side. 4, 6, 3. And they turn the double play.
I think 4-6-3 double plays like that are way tougher than these guys make it look sometimes, because no matter how you do it, the feed from the second baseman is a tough one. That's where footwork really comes into play, but right there, very well done.
This one popped up. Foul ground, first base side. Moreno brings it in. And that's the inning. This one pretty well decided at this point. We look ahead to inning number 8. It's the Diamondbacks 11 and the Brewers 5. Ready to begin the 8th. And now the first baseman, Alec Thomas. White goes 6 feet 3 inches, 30 years old now. And he was a second-round pick back in 2016. And immediately pumps in a strike to the left-handed hitter. That missed inside. And the count even 1-1. Righty delivers. This one popped up. Contreras in position. Makes the catch for the out. Next to hit for Arizona, Geraldo Perdomo. Way high. The D-backs up big in this one, and we're in the top of the 8th. And a strike in there. And that's a base hit. Just kind of sliced that one into center.
Pretty good spot, hard and inside, but that's a perfect example of keeping your hands inside the ball, tight to the body. The ability to take that back up the middle shows his approach is to use the entire field.
And now it's going to be number 11. First pitch, and that's in for a strike. Just missed. Throw to first, and he's back in safely. The 1-2. In the dirt, but kept close. No advance. Good job behind the dish. And a pitch.
Well, he's so great about hitting the ball the other way. He gets those arms extended. So right there, just trying to straighten him up a little bit so he doesn't have as much outside plate coverage.
That's a base hit. In there safely.
2 consecutive base hits for this team. Showed a willingness to drive that pitch the opposite way. Didn't get jumpy, didn't try to pull the ball. He let it get deep, took the barrel right to it, and then extended through the swing for the line drive base hit.
One away, runners at first and third. Next up for the Diamondbacks, Jake McCarthy. 0-1. The pitch. Just missed. Runners at the corners, 1 away. Here in the second game of the series. Next offering upstairs.
Could be some action here on this next pitch. Couple runners on. Probably a challenge pitch coming.
Two on, 1 out. Ground ball could be 2. Off balance feed. There's 1. Over to first, safe.
I promise you, there are guys that get a little bit faster when they can smell an RBI. That was a possible inning-ending double play. Great hustle, and he gets rewarded with the RBI because of it.
Now here's the cleanup hitter for Arizona, Ketel Marte.
Right through there for a strike.
White over to first. McCarthy gets back easily.
Base runner with a one-way lead right there. All he's trying to do is get a look at the pitcher's move. Had no intent of stealing on that pitch.
Fastball for a strike.
Perhaps not quite ready to hit. First 2 pitches by him for a couple of strikes. Now back is against the wall. He's going to have to figure something out and figure it out quickly.
2 outs. Center field. They get the out on Marte, and that'll do it. So they pick up a run on 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. Last half of the 8th coming up. It's the Diamondbacks 12 and the Brewers 5. And welcome back to the ballpark. Bottom of the inning, and now the right fielder, Jackson Chourio. Kelly back to work. And that one is inside ball 1. This to third, and it goes just foul. And the pitch. Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. No trouble here. Puts it away for the out. And there's 1 away. Up now for Milwaukee, Blake Perkins. Singy, you got to appreciate a guy who's this good defensively. I mean, watching him track balls to the outfield, it is beautiful. Late swing, foul to the left. So how much does his speed factor into his ability to go get it?
It's heartbreaking for the hitter because off the bat, he thinks this ball's going to get down. Because of that speed and the ability to make up so much ground, he enters the picture and breaks a guy's heart.
1 down, base is empty. And that one missing low.
There's one guy that I can think about, Boog, who started as a third baseman, Alex Gordon, and then became an elite perennial gold glover out in left field for the Kansas City Royals. But he's a guy, when you watch him play, you would imagine that that's all he ever played in his life was the outfield.
Cuts on it and misses. That's a strikeout. Tosses to first. 2 up, 2 down. Joseph Ortiz up now for the Brewers. Yeah, some guys just have instincts, right? I mean, that's the way it goes. We talk about Larry Walker, the Hall of Famer, and his instinct on the bases, despite the fact that he didn't play a ton of baseball as a kid. And he deals. Swing and a high fly ball to left. Brings it in for the third out. All set to start the ninth in this one. Here's the third baseman, Eugenio Suarez. The pitch. Pop foul out of play off to the right. Remember Mark Kotsay was a real good defensive outfielder. Good instincts, not great speed. Next offering, pop foul off to the right out of play.
Yeah, and I figured you would get Kotsay into this because you had a free dinner at his house the other night.
That is true. Next offering is downstairs. Swing and a miss, and he got him. And a strikeout for the first out here in the ninth.
Well, that slider down and away, it's just kind of a slow death. With 2 strikes you're looking to protect, and halfway to the plate, you know you've committed, and you know you're going to have no chance of touching it. I'll tell you what, sometimes you just have to tip your cap.
So digging in, Will Brennan. Wouldn't chase that time. Base is empty, 1 away here at the top of the ninth. That's a strike. And another ball.
2 balls, 1 strike.
On the corner for a strike.
2-2.
Battling here as he fouls it away. One down, base is empty. Breaking ball inside. And now it's 3-2.
Good slider down and in can be so hard to get on plane with. You're better off taking that pitch.
3-2 now. Rips one to right. Chorio makes the grab. That's out number 2.
Man, that's one of those at-bats where you have to remind yourself it's about the process. He did everything right there. Nothing to show for it. But in your mind, you have to convince yourself that it was a very good at-bat.
Carroll, the next to hit, takes ball 1. Two down, nobody on. Swing and a miss as he was late.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Got the bat going too soon. It's strike 2.
Well, 2 outs and a chance to put up a 0 on the scoreboard here, and that's not something that's come easy for this staff in this one.
Left-hand batter waits. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. And a nice inning of work there as he sets him down 1-2-3. Nothing doing for the offense that time. Bottom part of the order, 7-8-9, 2 up in inning number 9. It's the Diamondbacks 12 and the Brewers 5. Back here at American Family Field. And now here is Trey Morgan. The wind of the pitch. Fastball for a strike. Next offering is down low. And a pitch. And it finds its way through for a hit. And the leadoff man aboard. Now it's the second baseman, Bryce Terang. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. And first offering is fouled off. Right-handed reliever. Swing at a ball lifted to center field. McCarthy makes the catch.
The left fielder, number 10.
He's 2 outs away. Sal Frelick up now for the Brewers. There's a strike. And a swing and a miss there. The Brewers with a lot of ground to make up here in the last half of inning number 9. On the ground to third, Suarez slings to second. Not in time at first. It's a fielder's choice. So it's their last chance in this one. Next for the Brewers, Xavier Edwards. Right through there for a strike.
Well, I say it's the best pitch in baseball. Strike one. You get ahead on a good hitter as well. Gives you a little bit more confidence to move through the at-bat.
That's in there. And it's 0-2. The Brewers down to their final strike. Foul ball. It stays 0-2. Two outs. On the ground, and this should do it. And that'll do it. The Arizona Diamondbacks are moving on to the National League Division Series. So the Arizona Diamondbacks sweep this wild card series with back-to-back wins on the road. And they can now shift their focus to the division round.
Well, hats off to them, Boog. I mean, it's very difficult to come into a hostile stadium with all the energy and excitement of the postseason, but clearly that was no issue for these guys. They played well, and I think that bodes well for their chances at making a deep run here in October.
And a lot of disappointment for these fans and, of course, the players as well as they turn their attention to the offseason. Not the postseason experience they were hoping for or capable of, but they'll look to build on their success for next year.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time around. The revolution will not be televised. As we proceed to give you what you need. Oh, nine, get it live, ladies and Someday I'ma be a great man, transforming with the Megatron dawn, spitting out flames. Either whack rappers alive, and out chains. I ain't believe it then. I was homeless, fighting, shooting dice, smoking on the corners, trying to find the meaning of life in the till the 5%ers rolled up on it and informed them. You either build or destroy. Where you come from? The Magnolia Projects in the third ward slum. It's quite amazing that you rhyme how you do and that you shine like you grew up in a shrine in Peru. Question 14, Muslim lesson 2. Dip diver, civilizer 85er. I make the devil hit his knees and say to our Father, abracadabra. You rockin' with the true and living. Shout out the Lights Out, Joseph I, Chewy Bivens. Shout out to Baltimore, Baton Rouge, my crew in Richmond. While y'all debated who the truth was, like Jews and Christians, I was on Cecil B, Broad Street, Master, North Philly, South Philly, 23rd, Tasker, 6 Mile, 7 Mile, Hartwell, Gratiot. Really would pack a U-Haul truck up. Put the high beams on, drive up on the curb at a barbecue and hop up out the back like what's up? Killer, robber, take a bus up. That's why when you talk that tough talk, I never feel you. You sound real good and you play the part well, but the energy you giving off is so unfamiliar. I don't feel you. We need something realer. Nas hit me up on the phone, said what you waiting on. Tip hit me up with a twit, said what you waiting on. Diddy send a text every hour on the dot saying when you gon' drop that verse, you taking long. So now I'm back spitting that he